What's up, Air Tennis fans? Welcome back. We are at the Australian Open here. We're going to talk about second round between McDonald and Nadal. So we're going to utilize the Air Tennis app to discuss strategies that McDonald has used successfully against Nadal to help book his reservation into the third round. So we have our Tennis Essentials feature of the Air Tennis app. We have a YouTube player. We pulled in clips of McDonald and Nadal here. And then we have our hologram tennis court. We're going to talk about the strategies and discuss them a bit further. Okay, so we have McDonald at the top of the screen. Okay, so the avatar here, the purple avatar is going to be McDonald. Nadal's going to be down here. So we've seen in this match, you actually don't see typically against players that play Nadal is locking up backhand cross courts to Nadal's forehand here. Okay, so it's typically what Nadal wants is he wants to lock up forehands cross court with the opponent's on a righty opponent's backhand here. So Mackenzie's backhand is solid, so he was rock solid in this backhand cross court, hitting backhands cross courts here sometimes as Nadal was trying to pull him off wide and open this court up. Now the biggest differences was McDonald covers the court extremely well, and he was able to get neutral and sometimes even get ahead of the rally of this forehand, okay, down the line, forehand inside out that Nadal does. So what Nadal likes to do is he stands in the forehand corner here, okay, pins the opponent to the backhand, hit to their backhand, kind of pulls him out wide, opens this up, okay, and then goes the inside, the down the line forehand, inside out, depending where he is in the court. Okay, pulling his opponent way out here. Now that gives him positioning here to control, and it basically just pulls him back to the backhand corner, and players start running around back and forth, and Nadal sits in the middle of the court, pulling him back and forth here. So what McDonald has done differently is he was able to get to this ball and get neutral with this forehand cross court here, pulling Nadal over, sometimes even doing damage, and then allows him to step here. So this ball here, this cross court forehand here, coming from this position, okay, here, this yellow line just representing the inside out, down the line forehand from Nadal. Mackenzie comes over here, goes cross hard, goes cross, gets neutral. That was one of the biggest differences in the match. And then the backhand cross court to help stabilize and not get pushed around by Nadal's forehand was another key factor. So if we play this clip here, you'll see the top, and the McDonald's in the top of the screen here. We're locking up backhands cross court. There's that forehand cross to get neutral. Okay, and now he's in the middle of the court here with better court positioning. One of the other things we want to take a look at, a couple of the points, is that the high percentage of forehands that McDonald was hitting. So after the serve, if we take a look at this clip here, in the middle of the court hitting forehands, okay, which is here. So McDonald's high percentage of forehands after the serve, or in forehands in general. So what he's doing is, if we look at the deuce side, let's say McDonald is serving here, okay, he's going out wide here, okay, and if Nadal goes backhand down the line, which he does a lot, pulling him here. Now what Nadal wants to do is he wants to slide here and then get the forehand to start controlling the court, the forehand. So, but what McDonald has done, which since he covers the court so well, is he's taking inside outs here and driving this ball here, okay, setting up that inside out forehand concept, but now he's actually closer to the baseline, okay, so he can hit a little flatter through the court, pushing Nadal back, and not exposing himself too much on the forehand. And also, he can cover this down the line forehand. If Nadal goes here quickly, okay, to try to open the court up, he can cover this and then pull this ball here, pushing Nadal over. So hitting a large percentage of forehands, okay, in the court in the match helped out a lot. Is one of the key factors because it allowed him to control the court with the forehand and hit a little bit flatter through the court, do some damage, pushing Nadal back, okay, and get him in better court positioning. Okay, so just looking at this clip here, see forehands, he's inside the court, okay, hitting forehands and go to Nadal's forehand. He's locking up cross courts. He can cover this ball here. Missed that ball there, but he can cover that ball over there as well. Now, McDonald's court positioning is closer to the baseline, allowing him to hit through the court more. So this shows an example of the court positioning that McDonald has. Look at McDonald at the top of the screen right here. He is typically 3-4 feet or so off the baseline. And now it's back a bit further here. And what it's allowing to do is that's allowing McDonald to hit through the court, not allowing Nadal's ball to get above his shoulder, which is a little tougher to do on hard court than on clay. But also what Nadal likes to do on hard court is he likes to pull the opponent off the court. So he'll use his forehand cross court here, obviously, pulling the opponent way off court, okay, with these angles. And then the backhand cross court as well, pulling his opponent off the court. So he likes to stand about here, hitting forehands and backhands cross court, okay, down the line and so forth. It's kind of pulling his opponent back and forth, and then he controls the court, okay. How McDonald has flipped that a little bit was the fact that he was close to the baseline here. Okay, he can lock up backhand cross courts as we just talked about, and stay with Nadal on the backhand cross court, forehand cross court that Nadal hits. But hitting more forehands and getting closer to the court here, okay, allows him to hit through the court a bit more, especially on hard, pushing Nadal back, which does not give him the ability to hit these angles, which really kind of needs to be closer to the baseline to do that on a hard court. Okay, so if we look at this clip here, you'll see that he's way close to the baseline. Nadal's around the Melbourne sign, maybe 7-8 feet. Okay, and then he can control the court from there. Okay, and do some damage. So good strategies with McDonald against Nadal the other night here helped aid book his reservation to the third round. We know maybe that Nadal wasn't 100% healthy, but still Nadal, one of the greatest players ever played the game. So McDonald does a great job of doing what he had to do to get through, using some of the tools he has in his toolbox to do some damage, which is all about what strategies is. As we talk about these strategies, using the AR Tennis app and any strategy you talk with your juniors, it's about utilizing the player's strengths, okay, inside out forehands, inside in forehands, backhand cross courts, volleys, whatever the strengths of the player is, trying to utilize those more, okay, and then trying to uncover or target the weaknesses of the other player and hide some of the weaknesses you have. So as we go through more of these strategies of the Australian Open coming up, with a couple more videos, we'll do reviews of matches later this week into next week as the second week starts. Just keep that in mind. What our goal here at AR Tennis is to give you guys, coaches, college coaches, junior coaches, give you better tools to help discuss strategies with your players in terms of court positioning, patternizing, how to open up the court, how to cover up some of the weaknesses you have, and so on. And then introduce you guys to our target systems that allows you to put holograms over the net to actually train these patterns that we're discussing. Thank you, and looking forward to more reviews in the next couple days of the Australian Open. Talk to you soon.